Welcome again, Bobcats. This is Mr. Day. Today we're going to be doing Chapter 3, Lesson number 8. As you can see from the heading there, we are going to be dividing by 3- and 4-digit dividends. So if you guys would go ahead and repeat with me if you would, please. The objective: I will divide up to a 4-digit number by a 1-digit number. So again, 4-digit number we're going to be dividing by. And the number we're going to be dividing by is a 1-digit number. So doing the same process as what we've done before. The only difference being that we're going to be having a longer or a bigger number in which we're going to be dividing by. Alright, so let's take out our notebooks. In your notebook, today's chapter 3:8. Below it, your vocabulary term, place value, which is the value given to a digit by its position in a number. And I have a place value chart written down below, which we've been talking about since the very first lesson of the year. Thousands, hundreds, tens, ones, those are all different place values. We're going to be talking about those different place values today. Go ahead and pause the video to get your vocabulary term written. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk about that dividing. First, what's the first step for dividing a 3-digit number? Can we use the same tools that we use for dividing 2-digit numbers to divide larger numbers? Well, yes, we can. This example here, we have a 2-digit number divided by a 1-digit number. Here we have a 3-digit number divided by a 1-digit number. Now, in both those cases, we're going to use the same steps that I've been harping on since the very beginning. We divide. Then we multiply, then we subtract, and then we bring down the next number. Those steps are going to apply no matter what the division looks like. Whether we have a 2-digit, a 3-digit, or like we're going to have today, a 4-digit. Those steps still apply. So, let's go ahead and do this for example. Go ahead and put this in your notebook if you would. So 6 goes into 8 one time. So then we multiply. 1 times 6 is 6. Next we subtract. 8 minus 6 is 2. Last step of our process is we bring down the 4, which makes this a 24. We start the process all over again. So we have 24 divided by 6. Well, how many times does 6 go into 24? It goes in 4 times. Now we multiply. 4 times 6, 24. We can subtract. That becomes 0. There's nothing left to bring down, so our quotient is 14. Same process with a 3-digit number. 6 goes into 2. No, 6 does not go into 2 because 2 is smaller. So we go ahead and put an X there for our place value, our vocabulary term that we already talked about. 6 goes into 21. How many times is 21 divided by 6? Well, 6, 12, 18, 24. 24 is too much. So it's 18, or 3 times. Put the 3 up above my 1. I multiply. 3 times 6. That is 18. And I subtract. I get my 3. The last step is to bring down our next digit. 30. So now I have 30 divided by 6. This is where we do our division. Well, how many times can I divide 30 goes into 6? Let me think. That would be 5 times. Put that up in my quotient. Now I'm multiplying. 5 times 6, that's 30. Last step is to go ahead and subtract. There's nothing else to bring down. So as you can see, no matter if there's a 2-digit or a 3-digit number that we're dividing by, we still have the same steps. It's these steps right here. Divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. Those are the 4 steps we repeat over and over and over until we've run out of digits. All right, let's take a look at another example. The question is, how does drawing a diagram help you to solve a problem? Well, sometimes just drawing a diagram is going to help you with the problem. Let's read this first. An airplane traveled 1,544 miles in 4 hours. If the airplane travels at the same speed, how many miles will the airplane travel in an hour? So if we draw a diagram, we have the airplane there traveling from the beginning to the end. If we use that diagram to help us, go ahead and split this into 4 equal parts. So this is the first hour, and this would be the second hour, and this would be the third hour, and this would be the 4th hour. So we know that the airplane's going to travel for 4 hours. Well, how far does it travel using this tape diagram? Well, it's going to travel 1,554 miles. So this whole distance is 1,544 miles. So using that diagram, we can break that up. We know that we're going to take this number and we're going to break it up into 4 pieces. We're chunking it. We're taking that and chopping it into 4 different pieces. So we're going to set that up, showing that we're going to separate into 4 pieces by writing it 1,544 divided by 4. And then we can go ahead and solve that. I'm not going to do that, but that's how you set the problem up, helping you with this tape diagram that we drew here. All right, so let's take a look at this problem. A group of friends collects $265 to buy tickets to a baseball game. If 9 people want to go to the game, what is the most each ticket can cost to the nearest dollar, and how much money will be left over? All right, so we got a couple key pieces of information. First off, how much money the friends collected at $265. That's the amount of money in the pot, so to speak. That's how much money they have to work with. Now, there are 9 people that want to go to this game. So if each person is going to buy a ticket that's worth the same amount of money, how much money is each ticket going to go? So kind of like what we just had with the airplane example, except instead of cutting it into 4 pieces, this one's going to be cut into 9 pieces because we got 9 people to cut it into. So these are our questions here that we're going to look at. The tickets, how much is each one of them going to cost? And how much money is going to be left over when we get done. So let's go ahead and set this problem up. So, I think we're going to put that down a little bit. There we go. So we're going to set this division, make the house. Inside the house is the amount of money that they have saved. So $265. Notice I've separated that 2, the 6, and the 5 a little bit. I didn't squish them together. It's always easier when you're doing division to kind of separate them out. Keep those place values in order. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Let's use a purple pen now. So I have to ask myself, again, we are going to divide, we're going to multiply, we're going to subtract, and then we're going to bring down. So that's going to be our order of our steps, right? So first we're going to divide. Can I divide 2 divided by 9? No, because that 2 is smaller than the 9. So I know I can't divide by that 2. So I got to divide by this 26 here. So 26 divided by 9. Well, how many 9s can I go into 26? 9, 18. 18 goes in. 27, that's too much. So it can't be 3, it's got to be 2. Now we're going to multiply. 2 times 9, well, that's 18. We subtract 26 minus 18. We get 8. Our last step of our process is to bring down the next number. That 5 is going to go right next to the 8 to make it 85. Now we're back to the first step again, up top of the process. 85 divided by 9. Well, let's see, how many times does 85 go into 9? Well, that's going to be 9 times 9. I heard you out there. That's 81. We subtract, we have 4. So we're going to round this off to the nearest dollar here. So we have, to answer our question, this is how much our quotient is. So each ticket will cost approximately $29 each. And they're going to have left over. This is our leftover, right? Our remainder. It's how much money we have left over. We're going to have $4 left over. All right, so let's dig into this. If you go ahead and take out your practice book, open to page 201. Go ahead and pause the video if you need. I'm going to continue. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at this problem here. Change my pen to red. All right, it reads, in a 4-hour period, 852 people rode on an amusement park ride. That sounds like fun. If the same number of people rode the ride each hour, how many people rode the ride in the first hour? So we have our total amount of people, and we have the period of time. So again, our tape diagram, it's basically we're chopping it into 4 pieces, aren't we? First hour, second hour, third hour, fourth hour, and it's all the same. Total of 852 people. So when we set our problem up, we're going to take that amount of people, the 852 people, and divide it by the number of hours. So as they have set it up here, 852 divided by 4. So they have taken that problem, they've set it up down here below, and we're going to go ahead and go through that same process that we have done before. We are going to we are going to divide, got ahead of myself there, we're going to divide, multiply, subtract, and then bring down. Those are our steps. Remember it. Live it, love it. That's how we divide. All right, so we're going to ask ourselves here, taking a look at this first number, this 8. 8 divided by 4. Now you got it. I heard you out there. It's 2, for sure. Now we're multiplying. 2 times 4, that's 8. Next step is to subtract. 8 minus 8. Yes, I heard you. That's 0. And the last step is to bring down that 5, which they have done for us already. So now we start at the top again. What do we do first? We divide. We divide this 5 divided by 4. 5 divided by 4, that's going to be 1 time. If we go more than that, it'd be too much. 5 divided by 4 is 1. Now we're multiplying. 1 times 4 is 4. Now we go ahead and subtract. They have already brought this 2 down for us. Make that 1 a 12. Now we've got to ask ourselves again. Go to the top of the list. 12 divided by 4 is... That's right, 3. I heard you. 4 times 3 is 12. Now we can subtract 12 minus 12. We have 0 left over, or 0 for a remainder. 213 is our quotient. You all can do that, following those steps. Divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. Instead of doing it 1 time or 2 times, we may have to do it 3 times. It's just those steps. That's the only difference. All right, so let's take a look at this next problem on the next page. Example number 2. So you'll notice that we have a 4-digit number now that we're dealing with. They want us to take 7,946 and divide it by 6. Same steps, same process. We're still going to go through division, and then we're going to multiply, then we're going to subtract, and then we're going to bring down. We're going to continue to do that until we have digits left in our divisor. So let's go ahead and start. 7 divided by 6 is, that's our division, 1 time, multiply, 1 times 6 is 6. Subtract, 7 minus 6 is 1. Bring down our 9. Done with our first step. Now we go back up to the top of the list. We start all over again. So now we're dealing with this 19 here. 19 divided by 6. What's 19 divided by 6? 3. Good, I heard you. 3 times 6 is 18. Good job. Subtract. 19 minus 18 is... And as you can see, they've already brought this 4 down for us. So we now have 1, but we have 14. Now we go ahead and divide again. 14 divided by 6. Well, that's going to be 2, isn't it? Good job. Now we multiply. 2 times 6 is 12. Let's subtract 14 minus 12. What is it? 2. Are we done? No, we're not done because we still have another digit, don't we? All right, so let's bring that 6 down and make that 26. Now, how many times does 26 go into 6? 6. That would be 4. Yes, I heard you. Now let's multiply. 4 times 6 is 24. Subtract. 26 minus 24 is 2. This is what we have left over. That 2 is our remainder. Goes up in our answer. So our quotient is 1,324, remainder 2. Good job. All right. I'd like you to go ahead and try this one on your own. Go ahead and fill in those boxes. And then when you get done, go ahead and hit play again. So go ahead and pause the tape right now, solve the problem, and then you can go ahead and listen to it once you've completed it. All right, so let's go through and solve this problem. So 2 divided by 2, that is 1. And we multiply. 2 times 1, that is 2. We subtract. 2 minus 2 is 0. Bring down the next number, 6. We divide. 6 divided by 2, that's 3. We multiply. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 minus 6 is 0. Bring down our next number, 8. 8 divided by 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8, and they've already solved that for us. 134 is what you should have for a correct answer. All right, I'd like you to practice number 2 and then number 3. So go ahead and do number 2. Pause the video. When you finish with number 2, go ahead and hit play to get the results, and then pause it again. All right, our answer for number 2, 595 divided by 5. So our answer is 1, and we subtract, we bring down 9, we divide 1. We multiply, we subtract, we bring down, we divide. 45 divided by 5 is 9, which means we have 0 for a remainder. So our answer is 119. How'd we all do? All right, good to hear. All right, pause the video again. Work out number 3 and then hit play. All right, number 3 on this one. We are going to multiply, we're going to subtract, bring down, we're going to divide, we're going to multiply, we're going to subtract, bring down. We're going to divide, we're going to multiply, and we're going to subtract. We don't have any more digits to bring down, so that 1 has to go up here in our remainder. So we have 156, remainder 1 is our answer. Let's take a look at this problem. 3 new video game systems cost $645. If all the game systems cost the same, what is the cost of each game system? All right, on your paper, go ahead and solve that. Pause the video, and when you're done, go ahead and hit play again for the answer. All right, so let's solve this. So what we need to know, there are 3 video games, and they cost this amount of money. So we are taking that amount of money, that's $645, and we're dividing it among the 3 different systems, right? So let's set that problem up. We have 3 systems. It costs a grand total of $645. Again, divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. Let's go ahead and solve this. So 6 divided by 3 is 2. 2 times 3, 6. 6 minus 6, 0. Bring down our next number. 0 becomes 4. Start to the top again. 4 divided by 3, 1. 1 times 3, 3. Subtract, get our 1. Bring down our next number, 15. I'm running out of room, so I'm going to write that 15 over here. 15 divided by 3, that's 5. 5 times 3, that's 15. Subtract, I get 0 for a remainder. So it is a grand total of $215 for each game system. All right, what did you learn today? What are some of the things that we talked about? Let's turn to our neighbor and have a quick discussion using the following sentence stem. In summary, today I learned. Let's remember to use some of that academic language, circling it down on the bottom. Think back to our vocabulary terms today and in previous lessons. Let's use that vocabulary in our discussions. Turn and talk.